Hey everybody, welcome back to the Bourbon Note. I'm Greg.
I'm Ben.
And today, we're drinking bourbon. All right, Ben. You know, I am a big fan of F. Scott Fitzgerald,
Okay.
but I've never had
Do you
any
have
of
the
his
correct
whiskey.
author this time?
Yeah,
Okay,
yes,
good.
yeah.
So we do have, bam, this is the Remus Gatsby Reserve 15-year limited edition. So this is an extremely generous, and when I say extremely generous samples, non-bike riding Dave Vogelsang sent us a little care package here of samples. This is one of many.
There wasn't very little, to be honest.
Yeah, and so extremely generous. So Dave, I hope you saw the post that I put up, but thank you so much, for all the great whiskey. We're really looking forward to getting into them. This is the one I might be the most excited about. So this is...
He has low expectations.
So this is actually, now I don't know what year this is, because they release these every year.
2023.
Well, this is currently, yes. So I don't know if this is the 2022 version. So the Remus Gatsby is kind of the more expensive of the Remus releases. Runs about $200 if I'm not mistaken. MSRP, if you can find it at that, which it's one of those where
It's unicornish.
kind of, good luck trying to find it. This one in particular says it's 15 years, 98.1 proof, and that 98.1 is cask strength. Wow. So I'm guessing a lot of alcohol evaporation over the 15-year period and maybe a lower barrel entry proof.
Definitely lower barrel entry.
So,
Which I've never heard of MGP doing that, but I'm no doubt they probably do everything.
yeah, I mentioned they do a little bit of everything. One of the reasons that I have been apprehensive is obviously the $200 price point is a lot for any whiskey.
Yes.
But there is part of me, and I'm hoping to be proven wrong here, that $200 for a 98 proof, I get that it's 15 years, but it's just, can it be that great at 98.1 proof? And I'm assuming yes, because there are plenty of great, around 100 proof and even the 90 proof whiskeys out there. It's got an interesting nose to it.
So I'm getting like toasted almond on the nose.
I'm getting a very toasted vibe as well. Really bold, kind of nutty.
I don't know. Do we think it's a pretty standard mash bill? Like I just don't know.
I imagine like most of the Remus stuff is high rye. Little bit of bubble gum, faintly on the back.
There's it's the 15 years coming through. Like you get the wood spice is noticeable a bit. So I'm looking forward to it.
Well, let's get into it. Cheers. Wow.
So this is confirmation.
That,
We have said a dozen times, at least on this channel, that sometimes a whiskey needs either higher proof or higher age.
yep.
And 98's not low, but it's on the lower side.
Yeah.
But the 15 years absolutely pulls it over the top.
Yeah, I agree. That's fantastic.
It really is. And it's a individually hand selected barrel. They pick the best barrel for it.
Barrels, yeah.
Yeah.
So this one on the palate definitely has a mouthfeel to it that really kind of puts it into that premium bourbon experience category.
It's like there's a spice, and the wood spice is helping it like give me like a impression of cinnamon, but it doesn't taste exactly like cinnamon.
Yeah. I will say this. On a slightly negative side, I think the age helps, gives it that viscosity. There is a little something that's slightly flat about it.
So what I find is it has like a really interesting start with a lot of sweetness, and it really dies off. It doesn't go dry, it just like the sweetness goes downhill.
I almost wonder if the higher age in the proof in this specific whiskey kind of work against each other a little bit. Now, this is a great bourbon, don't get me wrong, it's fantastic. But it feels like there's something trying to come through that's being tamped down a little bit.
But so if it was we're assuming a lower barrel entry proof, it's not like they added a ton of water. We're guessing a little bit,
But they added the water to the distillate before putting it to the barrel, so. And who knows what the actual distillation proof was.
right.
This is really, really good. If you lean more towards the cask strength stuff, then, obviously something that's around 100 proof maybe a little low for you. We tend to like cast strength stuff, but I do love a good 100 proof point.
I would say this does not come across as a sledgehammer. It's got some really good flavors, but it's not a sledgehammer. And again, the proof is slightly below 100. Maybe that's some of it, but it does have really nice flavors. I like it a lot. Now,
you know what this would be really great for? Is for a whiskey drinker who wants the premium whiskey, bourbon feel. The viscosity is great, the oiliness is great, it's dense. But it comes with this very smoothed out, where I'm kind of saying it, for me it falls a little flat in just that one area.
you just want more of a kick in the teeth.
I want a little bit more of a bite to those flavors.
Yeah.
Whereas this one, it's very kind of buttery, like buttery smooth. And I think for someone who doesn't like high proof stuff, but is looking for, because I mean, let's face it, nowadays you get like really expensive, you know, high tier bourbons. A lot of them are leaning towards that cast strength. You get like BTAC stuff, and you know, I know there's a couple Pappies that are in the 90s, but who's ever going to find that? But most of them are north of 100. Yeah. This one, if you want a really, really nice bottle, and speaking of nice bottles, there's a picture of it on the screen. We don't have the actual bottle, but the bottle is amazing on this.
Oh yeah, the whole box. The
yeah, the whole presentation. Yeah. But it's great for somebody who's looking for a premium bourbon that doesn't come with the high proof point. Now, it does come with the high price point, and at $200, I don't think I'm buying a bottle.
You'd have to be a real Remus fan, and to be honest, we've really loved the ones we've had.
Yeah, absolutely. I just don't know that...
It's for a collector, not somebody just looking for whiskey.
Yeah, an enthusiast who wants to try everything, like we are, and lucky enough that we got a sample of this. Again, thank you, Dave. But yeah, I don't know if I would throw $200 at it.
Fair enough.
But we've said that about a lot of really great whiskeys, because $200 is getting expensive for any whiskey, in my opinion.
I think so.
There's that as well. So anyway, well, this has been the Remus Gatsby Reserve. It's the 15-year, 98.1 proof one on the Bourbon Note. I'm Ben.
I'm Greg. Till next time. See you next time.